Have you ever felt like you've hit rock bottom? Have you ever looked at a failure, a loss, or a deep pain, and asked yourself, why? What's the point of all this? Have you ever felt that suffering is just a meaningless punishment, a dead weight dragging you down? That pain isn't the end of the path, but the raw material for your greatest strength. This is the truth that few understand. The human soul isn't born strong, it is forged. This feeling is universal, but it's based on a fundamentally flawed premise. Modern society has taught us to fear suffering, to run from pain, to seek comfort at any cost. History isn't about people who avoided pain. It's about people who transformed it. Think about it. When you see someone with a strong body at the gym, you understand that strength was born from discomfort, from the act of tearing muscle fibers so they can grow back stronger. We admire the result. Society sells us the idea that a life without pain, without a scratch, is a successful life. But a life without challenges creates a soul as fragile as crystal. Beautiful to look at, but it shatters at the first impact. They understood a fundamental principle of existence, a mechanism I call ... But what if I told you that the darkest moments of your life were unmeant to break you, but to build you? This idea isn't new. It's a secret whispered through the ages. The Stoics, from Seneca to Marcus Aurelius, saw obstacles not as barriers, but as the way itself. The philosopher Nietzsche, who faced illness and isolation, declared, "That which does not kill me makes me stronger." From Viktor Frankl, who found meaning in the horror of a concentration camp, to J.K. Rowling, who wrote the beginning of Harry Potter as a single mother in deep financial distress. The alchemy of pain. Think of ancient alchemy, the attempt to turn lead into gold. Most consider it a fantasy, but true alchemy isn't chemical. It's psychological. We see pain as weakness. We hide our emotional scars, while a warrior displays their physical scars with pride. Emotional pain, unlike the physical pain of exercise, is tied to our identity, our sense of control. Admitting we re in pain feels like an admission that we re not in command of our own lives. It's the process of taking the lead of our heaviest experiences, the trauma, the failure, the loss, and transmuting it into the gold of resilience, wisdom, and purpose. But why is this so hard? Why is our initial reaction always to resist? The answer lies in how we perceive growth. But when it comes to our emotional pain, our gym for the soul, the logic flips. This is where we find the paradox of fragility. The forged soul, on the other hand, is like Damascus steel. It has been heated in the fire of adversity, beaten on the anvil of reality, and plunged into the cold water of loss. And how? Sometimes, the people who have been through the worst hells are the calmest, the wisest, and the most empathetic. Each layer, each fold, each strike makes it stronger, more flexible, more resilient. Have you ever noticed how people who have never faced real hardship often crumble at the slightest setback? Researchers like Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun have studied survivors of accidents, natural disasters, and personal traumas for decades, and they discovered something astonishing. They weren't born that way. They were forced to practice the alchemy of pain. They were forced to find gold in the midst of lead. They surpassed their previous level of functioning. They report deeper relationships, a greater appreciation for life, a new sense of purpose. But the process of overcoming that challenge, of giving new meaning to your life's narrative, creates new and stronger neural pathways. The one who learned from failure, who became more cautious after loss and stronger after the fight, thrived. So, how do we become the conscious blacksmith of our own soul? How do we practice the alchemy of pain deliberately? There are 3 fundamental steps: the fire, the hammer, and the water. Post-traumatic growth is an echo of this evolutionary adaptation mechanism. It is our species' survival software. Your brain literally rebuilds itself to be more resilient. Pain forces neuroplasticity and an inner strength they didn't know they possessed. You cannot forge a metal that refuses to enter the fire. Stop fighting the reality of your pain. Don't ignore it. Don't downplay it. Accept it. Sit with it. But is this just a beautiful metaphor? Or is there scientific proof that suffering can make us stronger? Modern psychology has a clear answer. The phenomenon is real, and it has a name: post-traumatic growth, or PTG, after a major trauma. A significant percentage of people don't just return to their normal state. They evolved in a world of chaos, danger, and scarcity. The ability to not just survive a harsh winter or a predator's attack, but to learn from it and become smarter, stronger, and more prepared for the next challenge was the difference between life and death. Neuroscience supports this. The acute stress of trauma can initially overwhelm the brain. But why did we evolve with this ability? Why would nature give us a mechanism that strengthens us through pain? The answer is survival. Our ancestors did not evolve in a world of comfort and safety. Suffering was evolution's most brutal and effective teacher. The human who crumbled at the first hardship did not pass on their genes. Understanding this is the first step, but knowledge without practice is useless. First, the fire, radical acceptance. Tell yourself, this hurts, this is real, and that's okay. Acceptance isn't weakness. It's the act of taking the raw material and placing it in the forge. Ask yourself, what can this pain teach me? How can I use this energy? Turn your pain into art, into a project, into physical exercise. They are not signs that you were broken. They are proof that you survived. Help someone who is going through what you went through. Shen transforms the chaotic energy of pain into directed strength. This is the hammering. Second, the hammer, purposeful action. Pain, left alone, becomes chronic suffering. It needs to be shaped. The hammer is action. After the metal is hammered, it must be cooled in water to gain its final strength. This is the moment of reflection. Write about your journey. Talk with someone you trust. Meditate on who you were before and who you have become now. It is in this cooling process that the lesson crystallizes and wisdom solidifies in your soul. Third, the water integration through reflection. Look at your scars. not the internal ones you hide, but all of them. And again, and having the courage to tell the universe, I am the blacksmith here. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the artisan of your soul. The lead of your pain today is the gold of your strength tomorrow. Life isn't about avoiding the blows. It's about putting yourself on the anvil. Again, the only question left is, what will you forge today?